Dr. Cornelio, the screen is yours.
Hello, magandang umaga, Doc Rico. Mayong buntag sa atong tanan. Salamat for that introduction. I take it as a privilege to be speaking with many of our students, especially from senior high school. I understand that we also have many teachers in the house right now. So wherever you are, maayong buntag sa atong tanan. And I hope that our session today is going to be truly inspiring, gaya nga na sinabi ni National Scientist Pabelia. When the truth is not what it seems, my talk in the next 20 minutes is an invitation to you all to this exciting field called sociology. Ang layunin ko sa pagkatapos nito ay mahikayat kayo, magkaroon kayo ng intrigue or fascination with this thing called the sociological perspective. Pag-uusapan natin yan along the way, but I will be highlighting many issues na nakakaapekto sa ating lipunan. Ipapakita ko sa inyo that most of the time, how we analyze as ordinary, quote-unquote, people, issues do not necessarily reflect the underlying or mga root causes of many of these problems. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the very wisdom of the sociological perspective. Hindi siya commonsensical, hindi siya whatever people say. There is a systematic approach to understanding this. Ipapakita ko yan sa inyo isa-isa. Are you ready? Here we go. Let's do this. First things first, ladies and gentlemen, kaming mga sociologists, we are bothered by the world's wicked problems. So we don't just enter the classroom and we don't just enter our offices or we don't enter the world just asking, what do I want to study? Most of the time, and common ito sa mga nagma-masters at mga nagpi-PhD in sociology, meron kami mga hugot, mga sama ng loob, mga galit. You name it, and most likely sociologists have written or researched about it. Poverty, yes. Inequality, yes. Conflict, yes. Peace building, yes. Estado ng mga kabataan, yes. Access to education, yes. And so on and so forth. We are obviously bothered by the world's wicked problems. Gusto nating maintindihan bilang mga sociologists, people who are trained to understand society, how these problems came about. Bakit ba tayo umabot sa ganito? And most of the time, the answers are very, very counterintuitive. So bakit ba natin gustong maintindihan? Precisely because we also want to make the world a better place. Pinapakita ko yan sa inyo ngayon sa inyong screen. We want to make the world a better place. What do we mean by that? Yung better, medyo complicated yan. Papasok dyan yung konsepto ng justice, progress, development, modernity, modernization. Some of you might be already familiar with these concepts or mga definitions na ito, pero there's a lot more that needs to be unpacked with these issues. So halimbawa, yung justice sa ibang tao ay hindi justice sa ibang grupo. Yung kapayapaan sa ibang grupo, hindi nangangahulugan ng kapayapaan sa ibang tao. Yung progreso ng ibang tao, hindi nangangahulugang progreso yun sa iba pang mga tao, lalo na ng mga marginalized sector. So again and again and again, sociology hopes to understand these complex issues, and hopefully by understanding the root causes, we can offer new paths, we can create new paths para matugunan ang mga problemang ito. Ready na ba kayo? Tatalakayin ko in the next couple of minutes mga iba't ibang mga issues that sociologists have discussed kasama ng aming mga cognate disciplines in the social sciences. Along the way, I will also be talking about my own research. Pero mas gusto ko na mas broad yung aking approach ngayon kasi tingin ko mas maraming mahihikayat pag pinag-usapan natin ng iba't ibang mga usapin that many of our young people today might relate with. Number one, ladies and gentlemen, before that, paano kami nanggagaling? Kasi saan kami nanggagaling? Ang point ng sociology, ladies and gentlemen, is that we want to understand personal troubles, yung mga pinagdadaanan mo bilang isang tao, hindi yan psychological problem lang. Hindi yan emotional problem mo lang. Hindi yan mental problem mo lang. Most of the time, ang sinasabi ng mga sociologists before I get to my issues, to my topics, ay konektado yan sa mga malalaking pangyayari sa ating lipunan. Ang tawag natin doon, social issues. Personal troubles, mga nararamdaman mo, depression, for example. Most of the time, ang tingin natin sa depression ay psychological, individual. Pero kapag maraming mga tao ang nagkakaroon ng depression or anxiety all at the same time, ang tanong ng sociologist, wait a minute, ano ang nangyayari sa paligid sa ating lipunan na nakaka-trigger ng mga anxious or depressive modes or experiences sa maraming mga tao? Anong tawag natin doon? Social issues. Trabaho natin bilang mga sociology students, trabaho natin bilang mga sociologists to understand ano yung link between what people experience and what society undergoes. Personal troubles, social issues. Pag malink natin yan, that's what we call the sociological imagination. So I'm sure yung mga students natin na nasa UMS, for example, you are already familiar with this concept. So in a nutshell, what is the sociological imagination? Is the ability to relate personal troubles with social issues. Your personal individual story with the history of our society. Yan ang tinatawag na sociological perspective. Kaya challenging ang sociology. So i-apply natin itong sociological perspective nito in some issues. Let's go through them one by one. First is teenage pregnancy. May mga bali-balita, and totoo naman ito, ladies and gentlemen, and some of you might already be familiar with this story, or some of you might already be experiencing maybe in your own family or sa mga sarili nyong kaibigan, merong tinatawag na early pregnancy or teenage pregnancy. Ayon sa latest report, sa isang sa research mismo ng findings mismo ng Philippine Statistics Authority, apparently tumataas ang tinatawag na teenage pregnancy. So noong 2009, tumaas ito from 2018 to 2019 from 62,341 to 62,510. Tumataas ito, so up by 7%. Ngayon, itatanong ko sa inyo. Sige, some of you might be able to comment on this and it would be nice to see what you have to say, on this matter. Pero ladies and gentlemen, karaniwan, ano ang sinasabi ng mga tao? Bakit nabubuntis ang isang teenager? Nabuntis ka kasi malandi ka. Nabuntis ka kasi pabaya ka. Nabuntis ka kasi hindi ka nag-aaral. So again, ang paninisi ay doon sa individual, personal story, morality, or personal disposition niya sa buhay. Pero kapag nakikita natin na may pattern, mukhang mas marami na ang tumataas, baka naman hindi lang yan usapin ng isang tao. So halimbawa, sabi ni Joshua Carl Elon, premarital sex, hindi ma-type ang X. Sorry po, or rape. Well, rape is another matter altogether. Pero totoo, Joshua, research shows na tumataas din ang incidence ng premarital sex. Pero paano natin sociologically i-analyze yan? Ang sabi ni Raj, yan ba ay dahil may lack of awareness sa sex education? Pag-isipan natin. Actually, pag inanalyze natin yung data, ladies and gentlemen, and this is why the truth is not always what it seems, makikita natin na, may pattern pala. Kapag mas less educated ang isang bata, especially of course, the female, mas less educated siya, halimbawa elementary lang ang natapos niya, mas mataas ang kanyang vulnerability sa teenage pregnancy. Mas educated ang isang bata, mas mababa ang teenage pregnancy. Doon pa lang makikita na natin na yung ating mga usual analysis na peer pressure, curiosity about sex. I respect all these opinions, nakikita ko po. Those are all important points, pero kapag inanalyze na natin yung datos, mukhang the truth is not what it seems. Tapos meron pang urban and rural divide. ladies and gentlemen. So pag naiintindihan na natin itong mga usapin na ito, baka yung interventions natin mas magiging sistematiko, mas magiging matalino, mas magiging malalim. So baka hindi awareness ang problema, kundi capacity building. Making sure that our students, especially our girls, finish high school, finish college. Sa intervention pa lang na yun, babagsak na agad ang teenage pregnancy. That's one issue for you. Another issue na gusto kong talakayin ay poverty. Naku, usong-uso po ito, ladies and gentlemen. Pinag-uusapan to ng mga ekonomista, pinag-uusapan to ng mga psychologists, orientations, and obviously kaming mga sociologists. Okay, ano ang karaniwang batayan natin ng poverty? Ang sagot? Poverty incidence. So ipapakita ng mga reports, lalo na ng mga development banks like EDB or ng mga economists natin using poverty incidence as an indicator. Obviously, alam naman ng mga economists na problematic din yung konsepto ng poverty incidence, but be that as it may, yan naman parati ang nare-report. Tumaas ang naghihirap sa Pilipinas. Objective indicator, poverty incidence. Ano yung poverty incidence? This is the rate of the population who fall below the poverty threshold. Okay, ano ba yung poverty threshold? So merong indicators na ginagamit ng Philippine Statistics Authority at normally nasa around 10,000 pesos yan a month for a family of 5 para matugunan yung pangangailangan ng mga tao. Dahil sa pandemic, tumaas ang ating poverty incidence from 16% thereabouts, before the pandemic, pumalo ulit tayo sa 20% or thereabouts. Okay, great. Good analysis, tumaas tayo. Ang sasabihin ng mga more sociologically inclined ay it's one thing to analyze poverty using poverty incidence, but it's another thing to ask people, do you feel poor? Dito papasok yung tinatawag na self-rated poverty. Ang president ng SWS ay si Academician Mahar Mangahas, kasama natin siya dito sa NAST. And I really consider him one of my inspirations, and we have worked together in a couple of projects. Ako bilang isang fellow din ng SWS. At ang kagandahan sa ginagawa ng SWS, hindi nila tinitingnan yung poverty incidence, tinitingnan nila yung sa loobin ng mga tao. Sa palagay mo ba naghirap ka? And ladies and gentlemen, obviously, mas maraming mga Pilipino ang magsasabi na mahirap sila. Look at the first line of that report. At least 48% of Filipino families feel that they are poor. Pumababa na ito over time, pero again, tumaas in the recent years. Again, pwede pa nating i-disaggregate itong data natin. Sino sa Pilipinas ang mas naghihirap, feeling nila mahirap sila using survey data? Sagot, apparently mga kapatid, akong mga higala dira sa Visayas o Mindanao, apparently, ang atong mga Bisaya at atong mga taga Mindanao, kayo ang mga mas mataas ang self-rated poverty. So makikita natin dito, and from the time of Cory Aquino all the way to President Duterte, every quarter nagkakaroon ng nataas baba, makikita niyo. Pero pag tinignan niyo yung annual averages, actually pababa. In the past 4 years, medyo tumataas ulit in terms of annual average. Pero kung i-disaggregate natin according to data, ang NCR 45% lang ang self-rated poverty, national average is 48, pero Mindanao 54, Visayas 60%. So sino ang tinamaan ng pandemic much worse? Obviously, Visayas and Mindanao. And then you can obviously disaggregate that even at a more granular level, municipalities, cities, towns, barangays, and so forth. I leave it up to you para ma-inspire kayo sa bagay na ito. Okay, now, may mga nakikita na ako tanong, pero siguro mamaya sasagutin natin yan sa open forum. Why do people why do people feel poor, for example? Last, okay, I have a few minutes remaining. Ito, usong-usong ngayon, youth and the elections. Isa akong sociologist of youth, isa yan sa expertise ko. And usong-usong ngayon yung tinatawag na #ReadyToVote. So last weekend, sina Robbie Domingo, nag-launch sila, sina McCoy, Dubs, mga celebrity influencers, nag-launch sila sa social media ng Love Kita Pinas, voters registration event. Ang point nila is that they want to encourage especially the young people to vote. according to the COMELEC, Commission on Elections, we are expecting at least 4 million first-time voters. Pag idagdag mo pa yung mga na-deactivate, papalo na 7 million yung mga new voters sa 2022. So, pero kung first-time voters, ang ating mga senior high school students, maybe some of you are already 18 years old, you are already eligible to register and therefore to vote. Ang sinasabi nila ay kailangan mahikayat natin ang mga kabataan, para bumoto sila at baguhin yung takbo ng ating gobyerno at ayusin ang lahat. And most of the time, however, ang tingin ko, and I offer this as a humble reflection, mukhang hindi nagmamatch. Kasi, bakit? Okay? Ito, papasok na dito yung aking research. It's not that young people don't want to vote per se. Hindi yun yung issue eh. Last year, I edited this book for the University of Santo Tomas Publishing House. Na-publish na po yan. Available na po yan kung gusto nyo po. Nasa Lazada po yan or Shopee. Hindi naman sa nagpo-promote, pero it's a really good book. It's a collection of different chapters written by social scientists from around the Philippines talking about different issues ng mga kabataan. Nag-focus kami sa millennial, pero applicable ang issues na ito sa realidad ng marami pang kabataan, especially the younger ones. Ngayon, ang isa sa mga arguments namin dito is that young people are not apathetic. They're not necessarily not concerned about the Philippines or about our elections. Their main issue is that, bakit pa ako boboto? Wala naman pakialam sa akin ang gobyerno. Bakit pa ako boboto? Kasi wala naman akong, ano man ang sabihin ko dyan, hindi naman ako papakinggan. So on and so forth. Ang tawag dyan sa sociology of youth ay political disillusionment. Political disillusionment. So, kahit ikayatin natin ng kabataan na Pilipino na bumoto or mag-register, pero kung nararamdaman niya na sayang lang yung effort ko dyan dahil hindi naman ako papakinggan ng pamahalaan, then it begs the question, maybe there are other ways to encourage our young people to participate. Ang evidence ko po dito ay yung ating sangguniang kabataan. It is obviously our political platform for young people to participate, pero ilan lang ang tumatakbo. And research shows that most of the time, ang mga sangguniang kabataan ay infiltrated ng mga pamilya or ng mga political dynasties. So again, kung ordinaryo ako na kabataan, bakit ako sasali sa SK? Puro sila lang naman yon. Again, the truth is not what it seems. There are so many other ways to talk about these issues, pero I leave you now with this quote, right? The function of sociology, as of every science, is to reveal that which is hidden. The function of sociology, as of every science, is to reveal that which is hidden. Ang panalangin ko ay sa pamamagitan ng ating sociological analysis, mas mauunawaan natin ang kalagayan ng ating bansa and hopefully we can solve our problems better. I end here and hopefully we will have a better, good conversation in the open forum. Maraming salamat.